When your desire feels ordinary, it's on the verge of manifestation. Posted January 23rd, 2012. One of the misguided understandings people have, especially those who are learning about law of attraction, is that exhilaration is the highest vibration to achieve, and that the more exhilarated they stay, the quicker the manifestation. In truth, exhilaration is simply a state of transition when you are moving from a low vibration to a stable vibration. It's a transitory state. You feel exhilarated when you have been on a low and are moving towards a state of relief. This transition is experienced in the body as that blissed out feeling. So in truth, there is no such thing as a high state. There is only a state of relief, which is akin to wholeness. And what you define as a high state is a temporary, transitory feeling as you move from a low vibration to the vibration of relief. The stable state is always ordinary and feels more like wholeness than exhilaration. Also, a lot of people have this delusion that once they reach their desired reality, they will be exhilarated all the time, which is not only an unreasonable thought to have, but it also disconnects you from the reality of physical life, where excited states or high states are not permanent. The more time the body spends in a high state, the more time it requires on the low state to compensate for it. That's why overexcitement is always followed by some depression. The steady state for the body is one of wholeness, which actually is a state of simplicity or ordinariness. It's not a dull state, it's just a state free of extremes, overexcitement or depression. When you reach a point where your desires don't overexcite you, but just feel whole or ordinary, you are far less resistant to their manifestation. Visualizing the ordinariness of your desire. A lot of people focus on pumping up their excitement levels, which they equate with a high vibration, and try to visualize their desires in this state of excitement. However, a desired reality, when it manifests, would always feel ordinary. You can see it in all your past life experiences, that every time a desired reality manifested, it felt so ordinary. It felt like the next thing, and usually it manifested when you were no longer making a big deal about it. The truth is that reality is always ordinary, and it's usually when we have some deluded or hyped up imagination about the future that we feel overexcited. And as long as you are not looking at your desire from the context of the ordinariness of reality, you will always have some delusion of big dealness about it, and thus you would indirectly be in resistance to its manifestation. Of course, you can't pretend that a desire feels ordinary to you. You can't fake it. It's basically a natural state the mind reaches with respect to a desire when it has seen through all the extraordinariness that it had been associating with it. In a simple sense, a mature mind, you can read the post, Moving Towards a Mature Mind, is able to see through its delusions more easily than an immature mind. It's just reasonable and logical that if something feels extraordinary to you, it just means you are not in touch with reality. And when you are not in touch with reality, with respect to a desire, you've not really aligned yourself with the circumstances which you will end up in when your desire manifests. A desire becomes a fantasy when you are holding extraordinary imaginations about it and projecting a lot of big dealness to it. Reality, on the other hand, is far removed from the fantasies of the mind. It's far too ordinary than what the mind imagines it to be. The hallmark of a mature mind is that it does not associate fantastic imaginations with respect to a desire, and is willing to see the desired reality in the context of ordinariness. There is a place for feeling excited and exhilarated about a desire, especially during the initial few days when it's hatched, and it's an enjoyable experience. But if you don't allow yourself to see through all your excitements and delusions, and thus be rooted in the ordinariness of reality, you would just end up holding onto a fantasy which removes you from being aligned with the true vibration of your desired physical reality, which directly means that you are not a match to attracting it. Get in tune with reality. A new desire always fills you with excitement or exhilaration, because for a while you are looking at it purely from the dimension of joy, love, or sexuality in your mind. But soon enough, you will start seeing it from the dimension of fear when you have doubts about it. And then you will start seeing it from the dimension of hatred, hating the desire for not manifesting, which are both low vibration states of being and hence highly resistant to manifestation. However, the problem is that you keep trying to get back to feeling exhilarated about the desire instead of allowing yourself to naturally move into a place of nonchalance about the desire, where you see it as ordinary from the dimension of boredom in the mind. You can read about all the dimensions of the mind on this post, the 6 dimensions of the mind. It's important to understand that pure exhilaration about a desire is always felt only the first time it's hatched. After that, you are only trying to recreate the feeling of exhilaration about the desire. This is because you feel afraid of allowing the desire to feel ordinary, because you think if the desire feels ordinary, it will lose its importance in your mind. But if you allow yourself to just stay natural, you will see that the desire naturally starts feeling ordinary after a while, and this is what allows a resistance-free manifestation of it. The state of exhilaration is only a primary or preliminary state, and it's not meant to be maintained to manifest the desire. The natural phases of transition that a mind goes through with respect to a desire are exhilaration, joy and love; doubt, fear; frustration, hatred; nonchalance, boredom. When it reaches the final phase of nonchalance, it's least resistant to manifesting the desire, and hence the manifestation starts unfolding with ease. A lot of people either get stuck in doubt or keep trying to recreate the exhilaration, which basically creates more frustration, instead of allowing a natural transition into nonchalance, where you are no longer making a big deal out of the desire. This is when you really get in tune with the ordinariness of life, and thus see your desire from the context of reality. This is the stable place from where you allow a smooth manifestation to unfold.